Right, so you're welcome to the sit down with Tony Asankomah right here on GH Movie Freak. Today we are at the office of a very important person in the film industry here in Ghana, and we'll be having, like as always, no holds barred, unscripted conversations about the state of the film industry and in particular casting. I'm sure you've already figured out where we are, and Mr. Kuadzi.
Yes, sir. Charlie.
Thank you for inviting us over.
You're welcome. Thanks for coming.
Right. Okay, so for those who do not know what you do exactly, how would you define the role of a casting director?
So the casting director actually sort out talent to fill in roles for particular project, whether it's a film, TV series, commercial, or maybe theater.
Okay, and you've been doing this for how long?
I think officially I started from 2014. That was from Beast of No Nation. That's when I started. I took it as a profession.
Okay, so that's 5 years going in. Wow. Would you say you have contributed anything in particular to the film industry?
Yeah, I believe so. I mean, I still want to do more, but sometimes Ghanaians don't give you the opportunity to explore more. Also, so explore more depending on the kind of stories we tell. Most often they are easy to find people to feel, but complicated stories, actually, I don't get a lot.
Okay.
Something more like Azali.
Okay.
It was challenging finding the girl.
Okay, so you say that on all the projects you've worked on in Ghana, Azali was the most challenging?
Azali was challenging and 95. Because finding kids to act is a big challenge. So normally that's the challenge when it comes to finding kids. It's a big challenge, but...
So you talk about it being a challenge. What exactly do you look out for as the casting director? Are you looking out for looks, or you are looking out for personality, or you are looking out for who can best deliver on the role, or what exactly do you look for?
Because we don't have child actors in the country.
I'm not talking about just child actors, but actors
in general. So we look, as a casting director, I look at a lot of things, people acting naturally, not exaggerating the characters, and also
delivery. Okay.
Yeah, and we go to the extent of even looking at the person's personality on set,
work ethic.
Set. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And also we also go to the extent of looking at their numbers on social media.
Okay.
So sometimes it helps.
Wow. Would you say our film industry, looking at the quality or the caliber of actors we have in Ghana, if you were to rate our industry in terms of acting quality between 1 and 10, where would you place us? You wouldn't rate it, okay.
We don't have a lot of very good actors.
Okay. So
we don't have a lot. I don't compare to Nigeria.
Let's not compare with Nigeria.
Because we are limited so far as actors are concerned, even though we have great actors, but we are limited in terms of numbers.
Okay, so we are limited in terms of numbers, but we have some great actors. That would lead me to ask, what exactly would you describe as a great actor?
In terms of performance. The performance, some are very great because some of the actors don't take time to develop their characters. Some people even don't read the script before they even get on set. It's when they get on set, hey, director, script and crowd. So it's a challenge. So some few people take time to work on their character before they even get on set. And also maybe some people are too busy because they take a lot of work, so they don't know, they even mix the script, don't know which one is should.
So they show up on a set and they are
so they don't develop their characters.
Okay. Would you also Well, we get that a lot of the time from GH Movie Week, where we criticize an actor on their performance in a film, and they want to transfer the blame onto the director. It's always a big challenge, because you don't know if you are to look at just the director or blame just the actor, or blame just the director for that mishap. Who do you think we should put that blame on?
I think the actor.
The actor.
I would say the actor, because the director there is looking at a lot of things.
Okay.
So far as the film is concerned. So is the actor. If the actor does a very good work, you see it on the screen, and the director will just have to add a little, because you already have a picture in mind. So the director will always. The director is looking at lighting. The director is looking at maybe the video. Is looking at a lot of things, or being creative. So might not be focusing on you as you. Might focus on the other actor. So if you're not playing a role, then there's a challenge.
There's a challenge. Wow. Also, we've had situations where we've seen actors do their best in terms of the screen, in terms of their performance, but when the film is said and done, a lot of the credit goes to the director without like focusing on the actor in their performance. I'm sure that's become like a challenge for some actors, because they know, after all, we couldn't cry. This director is taking most of the credit, so they would rather just relax.
If you're an actor and you think like that, then you are not even ready for the business. I'll take an example like Solomon Fixino,
right,
when he did Lucky.
Yeah.
And no one even mentioned the director.
Yeah.
It was him. Everybody was saying him.
Yeah.
So because he did great.
And the interesting thing about that character he played was he wasn't the lead.
Exactly.
Yes. But after the film, everyone is talking about him, as opposed to who the story was about. Yeah.
So if you're an actor and you do great, obviously credit will go to the director, but you are the person on the screen, so you are the person they will see more. But if the film does well in total, then they will say, oh, the director did a great job. But when it comes to acting, I'm sure they credit the actors.
Okay. All right. Let's take a step back. The first step for you as the casting director is to read or receive the script from the director, read through and try to identify the various characters that will be needed for the film. Then let's come to the auditions itself. What goes on during an audition? Because a lot of people, especially upcoming actors, are very scared to go for auditions. What happens at the audition?
Okay, so I'll go back again so that I can. So before I start a job, I get a script. I ask for the script, then read like maybe 3 times. That's the maximum of that. And then I will break down the character. Then before I go talk about money with the producer. Because the money bit is very important.
Very important. Yeah.
So I don't chat before I read the script. Okay. I read the script and know the amount of work that goes into before I talk about money. And then we go into the audition process. Sometimes we don't always do open call auditions. If you're not doing open call auditions, then we do because we've seen a lot of talent, so we bring them like maybe 5 person to a role, and then maybe basically to meet the director or to audition. Then I can show the tape to the director. So basically, when I'm doing the audition and the director is not in, then it's me, the camera, and then the person, because I was once an actor. So sometimes when you go to the audition room, there are about 5 people sitting behind a table, and it makes the actor normally nervous. And so I don't want to give actors the same experience. I take it easy with them, and then just to make sure they can take their get it easy and then perform. And if they do a first one, it's not okay, I ask them, can you do it this way? Because I want to have variety to show to the director is not there. So that's how I do audition, just to make sure the actors, I get the best to show it to the director. But also, I don't show all the audition tapes to the director, because if it's bad, then I can't show it. But I don't want to destroy the image of the director, of the actor to the director. So, so after if it's an open call, after I do the open call, I go back to look at all the tapes again, then select people to match them with roles, and then we do a callback. Callback is basically when we invite the director, and then you now perform from the script.
Okay.
And then that we send you the script to get ready before you come. And then from there, if the director is not really sure we can do like a screen test to see who really fits what well a couple of times before we select the person.
Right. So as a talent coming for audition, what should the talent come with?
Just say come with the talent. Like come with
no fancy dressing, no special makeup.
No. Me, I would rather, if it's not for commercial, I'll say don't do makeup.
Okay, if it's not for a commercial, don't do makeup.
Yeah, if it's not for like a TV commercial, because TV commercial normally you have to, the client want to see what they will see on the screen.
Okay.
But if it's for a movie, I'll just say go natural.
Okay.
If it's as much as you can, if it's a small powder or something, that is better.
Okay. Choice of clothing.
I think if you don't know what the story is about, for instance, if it's something epic, you go and wear a suit and you go there, obviously you're not really much. So if you don't know what it's about, then dress easy, like casual.
Okay.
But it doesn't mean you should just be neat, smell good, and look good, and just go and deliver.
Okay. Right. And also when people are in the casting room, like they are in front of, let's say, you or the panel, what should be their demeanor, their composure? What exactly do you pick out from them?
So before I talk about that, I want also when it's audition, I think actors should be on time, because there've been a lot of times that I've scheduled actors to meet directors and they've come very late. They've lost opportunities, but it's a challenge, like when it comes to timing. So when an actor is before the camera or before, I don't like judges.
Let's say
the director and maybe the producer or something. What I'll say is that be confident.
Okay.
Yeah, be confident and don't ask questions if you don't have one.
Don't ask questions if you don't have one. Because
sometimes we ask, do you have any question about the character?
And what are some of the questions they ask?
Oh, some are really non-fat.
Like
I can't remember some now, but basically they don't ask questions about that particular character. They go and ask,
like, how much am I getting paid for this gig?
Well, I think I haven't really gotten that question yet.
But do you think is an okay question to ask?
Not.
Okay.
It's not. Wait till you get the job and then you can negotiate. Because I always tell people, well, I think I actually received that question before from some agent before they even send their actors to the audition.
Okay.
They ask me how much is the job paying, and I tell them, like, I don't know yet. Wait till you get a part, then you have the power to rather negotiate. Because if you have the part and you are like by the director, then you have the power to negotiate. But if you don't have the role and you're asking how much am I going to be paid, I don't know. Sometimes I know, but I'll say I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. So someone could lose a role just because they asked that question.
Well, for me, no. If the person is talented and then the director really wants the person, I don't think.
Okay.
Because it's talent first before any other thing.
Let's take the conversation a bit extreme. We've had cases or scenarios where ladies go for auditions and they are taken advantage of. We can't deny or confirm that it happens, but it's something that we hear all the time. Do you think there's a way an upcoming actress can protect themselves or prevent themselves from ever getting caught in a situation like that?
When you say taking advantage of,
I mean,
what do you mean?
Like you go, I've heard stories from people, I don't know if it's true, that they go for auditions and they are told to take off their clothes, or the director or the casting director decides to fondle them or ask them to kiss someone, or later tell them to come home for a private audition. You know, stories like that, you hear stories like that all the time. And I'm asking, what is a young actress supposed to do to prevent themselves from ever landing in a situation like that?
I think actors are also, male actors are...
Yeah, yes, of course, molested, yes.
So, I would say, if it's something that, like for instance, you go to audition and then they say, I don't know if a director or producer will just say, take off your clothes. If they say take off your clothes and it's something that you are not comfortable with, or you wouldn't do on screen, then don't do it.
Okay.
But if it's something that you think you can do on screen, then go ahead.
Okay.
Because something that you can't do on screen, then don't do it at all. And sometimes most people will do it because they need the favor.
Out of.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
So if you go and the director say, come home, do you like the director? That's the first question.
Okay.
If you like the director, then you know why you are going.
Okay.
But if you don't like the director, you ask, why am I coming home? Then you ask questions. Or if the director say, okay, kill this person, is this something that you would do?
On screen.
On screen.
Okay.
On screen. But if it's not something that, then you should just ignore it.
We should just ignore
Yeah.
it. Okay. I think that's good advice.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's
so
good advice.
you need to know yourself and know, okay, I'm willing to do this. And is it related to acting? Because the director say come home and then or say Rohone Daho. Like you're just in that or who am I acting with? So you need to ask yourself questions. And also you will know if it's a proper production based on how it's going. Like sometimes it's not a proper production. So you the actor, if you are seasoned and you understand what you are doing, I'm sure you can make some point out of it.
I think it will be tough for what you are talking about. It will be tough for, let's say, newbies who do not really they don't know, they can't tell what a seasoned production is or is not. It will be difficult for them to identify that. How?
Well, I think if you realize that the production is a proper one, I mean, you even know from reading the script.
Okay.
Because actors that I work with, when they send me a script for a particular production and I read the script, I tell them there will be issues on the set. And if they doubt when they go, they realize that there will be issues on the set. Because you start realizing the problem from the very beginning, even from the audition.
Problems like
for instance, if they will say, example, if they say, come to audition and pay a certain amount of money.
Yeah.
Know that there will be problem on the set. Because they are going to depend on the money that people pay at the audition.
Okay.
There was someone who did audition, a known female actress. She did an audition, took people 50 CDs.
Yeah, I'm interested.
They are going to depend on the money that people pay at the audition. There was someone who did audition, a known female actress. She did an audition, took people 50 CDs.
Yeah.
I'm not mentioning anybody's name. And then the people who even went on set, the actors, some didn't get food.
Wow.
And some didn't get called. So from the beginning, you know there will be a problem.
Well, there are people like that who are, I mean, they sort of pre-finance their films using casting calls. Yes.
Which is very wrong. An actor also did it. The movie, there will be problem. A non-actor.
Yeah, very
He's
known
fair.
actor. Yeah, very
So-
fair. Jerry Kells.
Yes. So when you do that, you see there's a problem from the very beginning.
Okay. Alright. I'm not
mentioning anybody's
name. This is a sit down with Tony Asankomah right here on GH Movie Freak TV, and I would urge you to subscribe to this channel even before we get to the later part of this interview. And we are here in the office of one of the most renowned and most experienced casting directors in Ghana, Mawuko Kuadzi, and we are talking casting. Right. We've talked about auditioning and what goes into all that process. How about those talents who believe that they are good at acting, but they do not want to go for auditions? I mean, you and I have had a situation where we were being approached by a young talent, and he was like, he doesn't want to go for auditions because he feels when he goes for auditions, the time is limited in the room. So he feels his best will not be seen by whoever is doing the audition. What advice do you have for?
I advise the person to keep waiting. We will come to him.
Okay.
Yeah.
In their house.
Yeah, we come to them. We come and look for them.
Okay.
So
they must be I don't know, Denzel's kids or something.
Maybe. Basically, like, you need to audition.
Okay.
And it doesn't matter how long you perform during audition.
Okay.
If you are good, you'll be spotted.
You'll be spotted.
That's what I think.
Okay. What about there's always this issue of you see a casting call, an advert, and you say bring a headshot, bring a demo reel, or like what really goes into that? What is a perfect headshot first of all?
Well, I'll have to show you a picture.
Okay.
Because I don't have a picture.
Okay.
But it shows basically from your head to maybe more like portrait.
No makeup.
No makeup. Well, sometimes you can do makeup depending on if it's for commercial, TV commercial. That one they need to see you fine. Okay.
Retouched photos, like as in mine editing.
Yeah. When it comes to commercials, you have to look fine.
Okay.
But when it comes to like film and things, because depending on what they are looking for, so you have to take different kind of headshots so that we can see you in different ways.
Okay. What about demo reels and then
the show reels basically
show reels,
jobs that you've done.
Okay.
If you've not done anything as an actor, maybe you can decide to shoot something with your
monologue.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then you can have that, and then you can show.
Then you can present it at.
But it's not something that we really practice here in Ghana.
Okay. But would you advise that they do that?
Yeah, because when it comes to foreign jobs,
okay,
they need it, because like I had a call from a producer. I want to shoot the person from the state. They want me to send them shows of actors from Ghana. So in that case, we don't really have some. So it's important if you have it. It's easy to just.
So you'd advise every actor to have a show reel that they can present each time they are going for auditions. Okay. Let's come back to to your outfits, MK casting and MK content. You have actors that you like are in-house, you manage or represent. There's word on the street, say you seem to favor those actors when it comes to jobs. Okay. Like they are always the first to get into the jobs that you get commissioned for. Like how do you respond to that?
So the first place, as a casting director, I can't be a talent manager.
Okay.
Just to make that right.
Yeah.
As a casting director, I can't also double as a talent manager.
Okay.
So wisely, that's why I run both as a company.
Okay.
Like I have MK Casting, which is solely the casting company, and I have MK Content, which is a talent management company.
Okay.
When I'm contracted for a job as a casting director, I'm working with MK Casting. All the actors that are represented by MK Content audition. Just
okay.
Like everybody. If they don't fit the role, they don't even come. Some people hear that the film has been shot without them knowing because you don't fit. And one thing I've been careful about is not to do anything for racism.
Okay.
The only time that I will push for an actor that is represented by MK Content is the shoot is tomorrow.
Okay.
Or the shoot is today.
There's not enough time for you.
And maybe it's 12 p.m. and it's 9 a.m. and an actor drops. And I know MK Content actor fits the role. I'll recommend that person.
You do quick substitution.
Exactly, because that's a tight corner. I don't know who to call at that point.
And you wouldn't want to get the wrong person for the job.
So I can easily do that. That one, maybe you can call it favoritism. I will accept it.
So who's your favorite actor?
In Ghana?
Yes.
One.
Okay.
I have one, but no more. I had one person I really liked.
So no more. What happened?
I don't know. Like
I was some.
I guess I was some, but there's something missing.
Okay.
From the person.
You don't want to mention his name.
I don't want to mention the person's name.
Now, I'm curious to know because
I can tell you when we go off the camera.
I'm curious to know because you have encountered a lot of actors. Yeah. I believe you work with almost all the big names in the industry. So I just want to know what, as a casting director, you define as your definition of the best actor or your favorite actor. But like you said, I would find out off the camera. And
but I can't mention it.
If anyone wants to know, they should come and see me. I'll be happy to tell them.
Yeah. But we have that understand we have great actors. Okay. So I can't really say this person, but there are a lot of great actors.
Okay. Before we wrap up, I'll give you this simple question. What do you think is the biggest challenge for Ghana's film industry?
Government.
government. I don't get what you mean.
Because every country needs a system.
Okay.
So the system that will guide the industry is not there. So everybody is doing what they like. So if government is able to set up a system that will guide us, then everything will be regulated. Do you know you can shoot porn and put it on TV right now? Not TV, but you can put it in cinema.
In this country? Yeah. Okay, because there's no censorship board. Yeah.
So government is a problem. So,
well, to delve deeper, do you think there's something we are not doing right as an industry that has caused government's neglect? Or you think we are doing everything right?
Well, I hear a lot of people saying unity, we are not united. But we don't need unity, we need law. So, because imagine, like, well, I heard they were going to set up the film village in Eastern because some people went to Parliament, they changed to come to Kumasi.
So now it's in Kumasi now?
That's what I heard.
Okay.
So, like, the government is the biggest problem, so far as the film industry is concerned.
Okay. Alright. Any final words for actors, for directors, or for anyone watching this show?
Well, I'll say actors should keep practicing.
Okay.
Keep practicing. Keep working yourself. You don't always have to work.
Okay.
Sometimes you need to take a break and work on yourself. You don't
learn.
Yeah, learn. So you don't always have to work. Some people, are hungry and I'm down for shooting me. I'm not shooting and things like that. Take your time. When you go to work, let people know that you are different. Don't always be hungry to do something. Sometimes take it easy and learn and master it, and then you can come out to be great.
Right. Okay, so you heard it from the horse's own mouth. Again, this has been the sit down with Tony Asankomah right here on GH Movie Freak TV. Interesting conversation we've had with this very big man. I believe we've all learned a lot from this conversation. And I'd entreat you to subscribe to this channel, like, comment, and share. If you have any questions, drop it in the comment section. I'm sure you'll find ways to reach out to you and answer all your questions. And yeah, before you go, if you're looking for camera equipment, being cameras, lighting, anything for your shoots, from your short film, feature length films, documentary to event coverage, I entreat you to check out Ananse Video Equipment Rental. We are fortunate enough they hooked us up with some very, very decent top of the line cameras for this particular interview. You will see their number scrolling on the screen right now. So just reach out to them. We have amazing packages for all upcoming filmmakers. And yeah. So thank you very much for watching this show, and see you next week.